Hey guys, today we're going to talk about fear and how important it is to be able to overcome this because it's something that's really dear to my heart because it's something I struggle with every day. And I've been working with a coach over break who helped me get to where I am. And it's interesting because you have all of the stuff that we deal with every day, but we don't realize how much we're afraid to fail sometimes. And that's one of the things that is really a struggle for me, and I work on it a lot, but sometimes it gets the best of me. If we're being honest, we're not perfect, right? And I mean, in First or Second Timothy, they tell us God did not give us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of love, power, and a sound mind. But so many times we can take that and say, okay, well, God didn't give us a spirit of fear in this situation, but that's different than on the field. But it's important to be able to take that onto the field and say, okay, God didn't give me a spirit of fear of failure, and I don't have to be afraid of failure, and I don't have to be so afraid to not perform and to base all of my success on how I do on the field. And people can read me like a book. I'm terrible when it comes to hiding my emotions. So the guy's house that we were working out at, he goes, you look so afraid to fail that you can't even perform, you can't even loosen up. And I was kind of taken aback. I was like, oh, okay, thought we were making progress here. But it's something that we don't realize when we get frustrated. What it is that frustrates us is our fear of failure, is our need to succeed, our need to be accepted by our coaches, by our teammates, by whoever we're trying to please. And if we get away from that thought that we're trying to please God and that we play for God, that's where we get into this place where, okay, if I mess this up, I start like pacing on the field. People see me and they're like, oh no, there she goes, she's pacing, she's kicking dirt, she's kicking rocks. But if we get into this place where we're like, okay, I have to please my coach, I have to please my teammates, I have to please my parents, I have to please, all of this stuff that comes up, rather than, okay, did I glorify God on this play? Did I pursue Christ in my game today? Did I do what I could to glorify Him rather than glorifying, people? Because, in the Bible it says if we're glorifying men, it's a waste, and it's nothing compared to what it means to glorify Christ. And we shouldn't even be trying to glorify men because it's not the reason we're here. So the fear of failure it's scary. Yeah, it's not a comfortable feeling to walk out on the field and wonder, if you're going to get another shot, if you're going to get another inning, if this at bat is your last at bat of your career, or if this play could determine the rest of your career, or if all of these things could happen. And when you get caught up thinking about those things, that's when you lose your focus. That's when you start to get a little bit shaken, and you start to hear those lies from the enemy that come back at you saying, you're not good enough. If you mess this up, you're done. Nobody's going to look at you. Nobody's going to care. Whatever. You're just going to be tossed to the side, and that's it. But, a lot of times God takes us and He says, hey, I don't care about all of this, okay? Look where you were when I found you. My coach the other day, he looked at me and he said, you know what? When you came to my tryout 5-6 years ago, you didn't look so good. You took a couple off the forehead. You didn't play well, you weren't swinging well, but I saw what you could become, and that's when I took you and I said, okay, we're going to work on these things and we're going to build them up. God does the same thing. He looks at us and says, you're not looking so good right now, but we're going to work on this, okay? I'm going to help mold you into this person. I'm going to help clean you up. I'm going to help, make your moves more smooth. So that's the same way we get better with our swing, we get better with our lines on the field. Same way we can do it in our spiritual life. God says, hey, you know what, let me take control of this, let me help mold you, let me help be your coach in this situation and be able to make you stronger and into the person that I know you can be, rather than the person that you may be right now, or the person that you think that you have to be on the field, or because somebody says so, or because of stats or numbers or things like that. So that's something that's pretty near and dear to my heart because it's something I struggle with every day. And just because, I'm a Christian, just because I'm doing these things, it doesn't make it any easier. And it's something that I think gets overplayed a little bit sometimes. But just remember that it's a battle and God's already won the war. But don't be afraid of failure, because God picks us up every time that we fall. And it's our strength that we find from that that keeps us going and makes us into who we are.